Hi, everybody. Ooh, let's see. Hopefully it didn't freeze on me. Make sure that the mic is working. Audio. It says the mic is working. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. How is everybody doing? Thank you guys for being here. Hold up. How many people we have in the house? Welcome. Okay, I don't need to hear myself twice. Let's stop right there. Hey, everybody. Listen, we have 2 new lawsuits we have to review, and I started like skim reviewing some of them last night. These dropped last night. Okay. So Friday, attorneys are working, of course, especially these kinds of attorneys. They're doing the most. Thank you. I'm fortunate to celebrate with my whole family, says Allison. Well, I'm so glad to hear that. Shout out to you, Allison. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. I'm letting those notifications go out and everything. Hopefully everybody will get here. I did let everybody know on Discord. Listen, we have you already got it started. Like it's not just another one. I do have an Excel sheet that I have yet to update. But we've had a lot of updates on these lawsuits. Here we go. More. That would be the more you know. Wrong icon. What am I doing? It's this one.
Another one.
I don't know what I was thinking. And for whatever reason, hold up. Maybe the sound will work now. Make sure. Okay, here, AirPods. There we go. I'm like the wrong one, but it is the more you know. The more you know. Like literally feel like we're learning different things every day. Yeah, like Sarah, literally at night, they're filing these lawsuits at night. They don't miss a beat whatsoever. Jeanette, welcome. Everybody, Adaz, me, you, Evening Star, Darcy, Belen, Amy, wake up. Y'all wake up, because I got my energy drink and I got my coffee. I hope you guys are awake. Kim, I need an Excel sheet for the Excel sheet. That's how many lawsuits we have right now. And then you have the in-between lawsuits, like in between the lawyers fighting and doing different things. I don't even know what to make of it, It's too much. Hey there, Kim. How are you, love? Shout out to you. And on Shark is in the house. Sarah, Belen, Nebby, welcome. Gigi, Zum, Olson. Everybody come through. Cat, Sarah, Sally Mae, Micah, Kim. Yes, please hop your tail to the like button. Bratty Becca, how are you, love? Shout out to you. Seidel, welcome, love. How you doing? Shout out to you, love, by the way. I've been seeing you on the Liam Payne chats, especially when we're translating. Love you. Thank you for being there. Wendy, thank you. Rhiannon, Morris 17's in the house. Thank you, Morris, for being here. Diddy, thank you. Dizzy Destiny, how are you? Y'all are amazing. Smurgy's in the house. NJ55. Queen, how are you? Everybody, Ellen, I see y'all. Thank you for being here. Good morning. Have you seen the disturbing Simon Cowell buffet video? No, but I do think Simon Cowell is a very disturbing individual. I've done videos. Have I done videos on Simon Cowell? I think I did one. I think he's a very disturbed individual, but at the very time, he came at a time where a lot of the culture. I mean, the first time I ever saw Simon Cowell was on American Idol, right? And he was idolized for being a complete dick on TV, and I mean, everybody loved him for that. So we accepted that kind of behavior. And people accepted it and praised him for it. I mean, he was like the most. I remember Simon Cowell in American Idol because he was like the most. He was hated, but he was hated and loved at the same time. It was a really weird situation where I was like, can the people get it together? Y'all know that he just berated this woman. But that was the thing back in those shows. Like, I'll never forget. I remember watching the very first season of American Idol with Kelly Clarkson that she won. It was Kelly Clarkson, and it was that one cute looking guy, and they did the movie. Like, I remember this time of my life because I think I was in high school around that time. And just watching that show go down and seeing how everything was going, and people getting eliminated and whatnot. Nurse, Janice, welcome. Gordon, welcome. Steven's on that coffee and donut. Shout out to you, love. Okay. Is it Justin Guarini? You know, I always wonder what happened to him. Oh my God. Justin Guarini, I always wonder, because remember when like the media was pushing for them to like date? There was this like push for them to be together. It was really weird. And I remember that they held tryouts. American Idol held tryouts in areas where I was at too. I knew of a couple people that tried out too. But you remember, like, remember that one? I can't remember that one young man that was trying out. Maybe I need to do a video about this. This would be fun. Like, we look at all the tryouts of American Idol, because I think that the best part of American Idol back when the show was running, guilty as charged for watching some of it, was when the contestants were trying out. You know what I mean? And then they were like failing. Like, you had a lot of people that became famous for being really bad at singing. That makes sense. Yes, thank you. And non shark, right? Like the recreational meanness. Shanavi says, I never watch those shows, but you know, American Idol, I mean, this was around the height of reality TV. So they were making everything into a reality TV show. I'll never forget, I watched this one before reality TV was what it was. Was it Susan Sarandon? It was Susan who went on TV and she was on a protest. She was protesting reality TV because back then, reality TV was taking jobs from these actors. They didn't want that. So it was supposed to be like a complete Hollywood shift where you would have the likes of these reality TV show stars actually breaking bread with some of these real stars, old Hollywood type of situation. So there was like a little bit of a little bit of conflict. I'm gonna do a video about that. That is a perfect idea because now it's all, and I bet you I could probably find some of these old clips. Okay, sorry y'all. Y'all got me on a tangent because you started talking about Simon Cowell and it just brought so many memories to me. Welcome, everybody. Let me write this down in my little. No, I'm gonna need a new notebook. Okay. Reality TV. It was like the birth, and I remember American Idol being one of them. American Idol. Okay. Yes. Shauna B, isn't that crazy? Because they said it was much cheaper to produce than scripted television. But now reality TV show is scripted television. It's weird. It was really weird. Okay. We have so much to review. Let's get into these lawsuits. Shout out to everybody. We are 8 minutes in. Now, I did glance at one of the lawsuits that I felt like was this one is the attorney here, I glanced at it, I didn't read the whole thing, but this is the one, this got a trigger warning. Okay, so Latroya Grayson is the plaintiff in this lawsuit. This dropped last night. Now I want to make sure I'm not misremembering, but I'm pretty sure I saw Ariel Mitchell Kidd's signature here, or at least she is the lawyer for. Yep. So Ariel Mitchell Kidd is finally getting back to suing people, and she is not doing interviews anymore. Because y'all remember we were wondering, like, what is Ariel doing? Because she's been all over. And like I said, no shade in that. It's just that she was looking kind of it was looking kind of off here to see her go on these interviews with Courtney Burgess peddling this like book or whatever. And then we're just trying to figure out like what is going on. Hey, Tinkle Tits. Hey, Ronnie, everybody coming through, guys. Welcome. Well, she is resurfaced to do lawsuits. Okay. I can give her credit for that. Hey, Mandy, how are you, love? Shout out to you. I can give her credit for that. Like, she's back to doing lawsuits. That's what we need her to do. Because she was over here hitting polls and panels and, going all over the place. Now she's getting back to lawsuits. Shout out to her for that. Okay. I'll give her flowers for that, but we'll see how this lawsuit pans out. Okay. So Tasha's like, I made it on time. Welcome. Yes. Thank you, Pika. Tell them that we are strictly commentary. That is all. Yeah. Too many interviews. I think this was very much an interesting thing. Ronnie, I'm going to do a video about that. I promise you. I promise you. Y'all didn't get my little axe thing, okay? Shout out to you. You said, "Aw, thank you, Vicky. I hope you know today is football day." Okay, shout out to all the football people. I really love you. Thank you. Thank you, Vicky. We're going to do a video about that though, Ronnie, I promise. Okay, here we go. So let's get into this lawsuit. I'm going to tell y'all, please note that this lawsuit is going to be very graphic, very triggering. So there's some words that I'm going to say and I'm not going to say. If you need to log off because it's too much, it definitely is too much. Okay, so Latroya Grayson is the plaintiff in this lawsuit. Okay, and she is alleging that the defendants, of course, are Bad Boy Entertainment. But here in the defendants, not only is it Diddy, we got Delta Airlines, Atlantic Record, KK Jams, 105.3 FM, so a radio station, a hotel, Roger Smith Hotel, John and Jane Doe's 1 through 10. Typically, when they put that, is because there are possibly other entities that might get added to this lawsuit. Yeah, so keep that in mind. And then they have a preliminary statement here, which basically outlines, hold up, y'all, I gotta clear my throat. Basically outlines the I guess the events of where we're at right now, like the climate of the situation. So you have Cassie Ventura, who filed a 35-page lawsuit, which exposed a lot of what Diddy had done physically to her throughout the decade, span over a decade, right? We have this CNN video as well. Hold up. Thank you, Seidel, for the $4.99 for the $4 super sticker, love. Shout out to you, love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, shout out to Iron Rabbit, who's been a member for 10 months. For whatever reason, I was misreading Iron Rabbit's post yesterday, and I kept saying 10 members. That's not what I meant. Iron Rabbit, if you're watching the replay, thank you for being a member for 10 months, love. And thank you, Seidela, for this $4. Thank you. Okay. So, since Ms. Ventura's brave decision to file a lawsuit against Combs, defendant Combs has accumulated numerous lawsuits. All right, we know this. These are kind of things that we've already reviewed, past videos. In September 2024, defendant Combs was arrested. We know this. Plaintiff now alleges that she is too one of many defendant Combs victims, and the other defendants named herein. Plaintiff can support her allegations, has suffered extreme emotional distress impacting many years at nearly every aspect of plaintiff's life and personal relationship. Given all the brave individuals who've come forward against Combs, plaintiff is doing the same. Okay. So we have jurisdiction and venue. I'm going to skip through that. Procedural requirements, the Gender Motivated Violence Protection Act, all of this, where it falls into. We have pictures here, okay? Now, if I remember Ariel's previous lawsuit of Adria before she dropped her, there were pictures there as well. The parties, she puts a picture of Sean and Cassie. I wasn't sure why she put a picture of Cassie, because it's like she's not a defendant. Like, we know who, like, just put a picture of Diddy. You know, you'll find a lot of pictures without Diddy, but I don't know why she did this, because this is kind of like, for what? I don't understand this. Yeah, Ariel's been silent. She's been I guess lawyering. I don't know. So we know that Diddy is incarcerated. All relevant times occurred herein. And they list Diddy as a famous rapper. We know this. Defendant is a Grammy award-winning musician. We know this. Okay, I got to go down, because it's a lot of this is just repeated stuff. So these are the defendants. Then they're also making Bad Boy Entertainment a defendant. We know this. Now, defendant Atlantic Record is another defendant, okay? And defendant Atlantic Record, they're saying, was responsible for and facilitated the event that lured plaintiff to defendant Combs in New York, where she was injured. This is why he's in the lawsuit, okay? Now, defendant Mike Savas, okay, so Mike Savas was, I believe, an employee at the time. Defendant is an employee. His employment capacity with Atlantic was responsible for promoting, coordinating, and arranging the promotional contest, which was the cause of plaintiff's injury. So they got Mike Savas in here because he was employed with Atlantic. All right, now we got Delta Airlines. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, why are we putting these pictures unless they're relevant? But I don't know. Maybe we writing Dr. Seuss lawsuits type of situation, but it is what it is. Shout out to you, Ariel, and everybody else. And what's his name? Blackburn. He's another one that likes to put pictures. It's so annoying because it's like sometimes we know what these entities look like. Do we really need pictures? That's just my thought. Just my thought. He's not a rapper, he's a slapper. Okay. Y'all don't be like me and join the live and forget to hit the like. Thank you, Vicky. Shout out to you. Yes, Darcy, Ariel's filing lawsuits again. Shout out to Ariel. Okay. I do wonder though, is she gonna follow up with Courtney? Just wondering. So, defendant Delta, the airlines, is added here in the capacity as a common carrier was responsible for transporting and arranging the delivery of plaintiff and possibly all contest winners to defendants, which ultimately led to plaintiff's injuries. Okay, so this is why they're added. We have defendant KK Jams 105.3, and they are a radio station in Oklahoma. So defendant K. Jams was responsible for and facilitated the event that fraudulently enticed plaintiff to New York where she was injured. Then we have defendant Roger Smith Hotel. Okay. So the hotel, in their capacity as a common carrier, was responsible for the accommodations of plaintiff and all contestant winners, which ultimately led to plaintiff's injuries. Okay. So they're saying here that Roger Hotel had an ongoing relationship and participation with defendant Combs in Atlantic and K-Jams and was to provide lodging to potential victims to defendant. Okay, so keep that in mind. This is why they're here. And then we have defendants John Doe and Jane Doe 1 through 10. Of course, they do this to add, other people. Like, I don't know, maybe there's a manager that they forgot. They realized in the middle of the lawsuit they can add that manager or a promoter or something like that. This is why they leave us open for people to be added at some point, okay? Because they say here that upon information and belief, plaintiff believes all of the defendants, Does 1 through 10, are citizens of the state of New York. So if there was a limo driver, he might be added in there, because maybe she doesn't remember the name, but he might be added in there. If there was a company, maybe the limo driver company, whatever, something to that effect. Okay, so here we have our victim. Her name is Latroya Grayson, okay? Latroya Grayson. Hey, Night Charm, Oklahoma. I see everybody. Hey, Pika. Everybody. I know I said hello to you, Pika. Shout out to you, Pika. Everybody hit that like button, please, and thank you. Shout out to, look at Night Charm. It's like, listen, Rabbit. Ariel don't care about those victims. Shout out to you, love. But I'm just saying, Night Charm, like she's back to lawyering. Like that's good, right? Yo, y'all are not forgiving. You guys are not forgiving. Okay, forgive. Let's keep going. All right. Plaintiff is an individual who is a citizen of the United States and resident, and she lives in Oklahoma. Okay. So, plaintiff at all times relevant to this action was 23 years old. Okay. And she was living in Oklahoma. Plaintiff had never traveled to New York City prior to the events described herein, and otherwise would not have traveled to New York City without being enticed by the scheme of defendants. Plaintiff was a guest of her half sibling. Okay, plaintiff was the guest of her half sibling who won. Huh? Plaintiff was the guest of her half sibling who won the contest on defendant K. Jam's radio station and agreed to accompany her sibling on what she believed to be a legitimate, all expenses paid trip to a Diddy white party in New York in 2006. And her life has been detrimentally impacted ever since. So was it plaintiff and her half sibling were guests on a show? There's a typo here. So here's the factual allegations, okay? In late 2006, defendant K-Jams began promoting a contest on its radio station 105.3 Jams in Oklahoma, sponsored by defendants Combs, BBE, Atlantic, and Delta, offering the winner a prize of an all expenses paid vacation for two to New York City to attend a Diddy white party. There was an event like that. So the radio was hosting like events for people to like go to Diddy white parties? That's interesting. This is the first time I've heard this. Okay. At this point, defendant Combs' white parties were legendary, ongoing, as they had begun in 1998 and were in full swing by 2006. Eagerly, plaintiff and her sibling tried to win the K-Jams radio contest. Eventually, plaintiff's is it no, it's not eventually. Yeah, it is eventually. Plaintiff's sibling was able to win the contest. Eventually? Okay. I don't know who wrote this. The contest included round-trip airfare for the winner and a guest, one hotel room in New York, and 2 tickets to attend Diddy's white party in New York. Okay. Upon information and belief, this was not a traditional white party thrown by defendant Combs, as those typically occurred during Labor Day holiday, but a separate promotional party. Okay. Initially, the party was scheduled for this October 6, 2006, but was then rescheduled without a warning or explanation. Plaintiff received an initial letter from Atlantic providing instructions on how to attend the party and the details of the party dated for the original date of the party. Oh wow, we have a screenshot of the letter, but this letter is so blurry. So the contest included a round trip for the winners and the guests, okay? One hotel room and 2 tickets to attend this party. So, upon information, this was not a traditional white party thrown by defendant, okay, which typically occurred during Labor Day holiday, but a separate promotional party. So then the party was scheduled for October 6, 2006, but then rescheduled without warning or an explanation. Plaintiff then received an initial letter from Atlantic providing instructions on how to attend the party and details of the party dated for the original date of the white party. So they won the contest, and then they they're thinking they're going to this party. Now let me see. Latroya Grayson. I want to blow up letter. I know somebody has already done this. Atlantic. Somebody must have already done this. They probably let me go to Twitter because Twitter be like on fire sometimes way before we are. Latroya Grayson. I want to read the letter. Diddy letter. Okay. See if we can find it. Nobody's blown it up yet. Okay, well, we'll have to do that at some point. So the prize of this contest was to attend this Diddy party. That's what it sounds like, okay? Okay, so this is the letter, and the party was then rescheduled for October 16, 2006. Plaintiff was provided a plane ticket issued by Delta for departure on October 16, 2006 from Tulsa to New York JFK Airport, returning to Tulsa the next day on October 17, 2006. In addition to the date of the party being rescheduled, the theme of the party was also changed from a white party to a black party. Whoa. Due to the changes of required colored attire to attend the party, plaintiff was forced to purchase a new outfit that was within the new theme and dress requirement for admittance. Plaintiff and her siblings had never been to New York and were very excited about their trip and their attendance at a celebrity party hosted by defendant Combs. Plaintiff and her sibling rented a limousine to transport them from the airport to the hotel in efforts to make the most of the free trip. Okay. So they rented a limousine at their own. This is not part of the package, okay? They'd never been to New York and they were very excited, okay? She had to get a new outfit because they went from white party to black party, okay? So just to kind of coordinate with the theme. Upon arrival in NYC, plaintiff checked into the prearranged hotel, the Roger Smith, okay? And they're showing us receipts. They got receipts, y'all. Plaintiff was required to pay a cash deposit to the hotel, which was provided and paid by Atlantic. So did Atlantic pay the deposit or did she pay the deposit? Because it says she was required to pay a cash deposit to the hotel, which was provided and paid by Atlantic. Did she get reimbursed for this? I'm confused. Plaintiff changed into her requested black outfit and met the transportation van arranged by Atlantic employee Mike Savas downstairs at the hotel. Okay. Along with plaintiff in the transportation van arranged by Atlantic employee Mike Savas were several other contestant winners who won the same contest in their home city. Oh, shit. Okay. And were subsequently flown to New York as a radio contest winner for this Diddy Black Party. Upon arrival at the location where the Black Parties was thrown, plaintiff and the other contestant winners were forced to wait in lines for entrance into the party. So she's got pictures here. Plaintiff and other contestant winners were approved for entry by security based on their appearance and their attire. Individuals were not let into the party based on their position in line, but based on their attractiveness and their attire. Oh, okay. So I'm imagining that you got a line with a bunch of like radio contestant winners, right? Like they're out there waiting in line, okay? And Nikki, thank you for becoming a member. Shout out to you, Nikki Love. Welcome to the membership. So they're out here waiting in line, right? Like it's a bunch of winners. They all got their black attire, and you got a person at the door who's basically scoping out to see who's going to come in, right? Security, I'm thinking, okay? Okay. So, plaintiff and other contestant winners were approved by entry by security based on their appearance and their attire. Individuals were not led into the party based on their position in line, but based on their attractiveness and their attire. Okay. After waiting in line for approximately 45 minutes, plaintiff was finally granted entry into the party. Even though plaintiff was granted entry, her sibling was not, and plaintiff was separated from her sibling before realizing her siblings had not also granted entry into the party. I'm gonna need these people to spell check some of this. All right, so they're at the party. Well, they're waiting in line, and the security's like, okay, you're good looking. Let's get you in. Your attire is lit, but your siblings is not. Your girl, she, whatever. Your guy's not invited. How many of you guys have been to a party like that where you're waiting in line and they're scoping you out to see if you're wearing the appropriate attire to go into that party? Let me know. Have y'all ever been to that? And then like you basically like you might be wearing something that your friend is not wearing, or you might be a little bit more revealing and then they don't get in because they're not like, wearing whatever. And then that then leads for y'all to be separated. How many of you guys have been through that? Let me know in the chat, because you have, right? I know I have. I have. It wasn't based on attire, honestly. Yes, I can't imagine. You're right, Nanya. But I mean, it does happen. But if I've never been in New York City and I'm with my sibling, I would be a little bit hesitant. But I could see my sibling telling me, no, like, girl, this is a one in a lifetime opportunity, girl. Go in there. Don't worry about me. Just take a lot of pictures. Have fun. Because you're not thinking that something bad's going to happen. So you won a contest and you got selected to go in. Some people would say, no, fuck that. I'm staying with my sibling. And I can understand that. But I can see the other side of like, yo, I'm from a small town in Oklahoma. I have a good opportunity to get to a party, meet Diddy, and he's selecting me out of everybody. I'm there. Yes, but I'm not separated with who I came with. Nope. Rule number one. I mean, but I could see this other side where it's like, small town. You in New York City, you don't know the place, and you might be nervous, but your sibling didn't get it. So lifetime opportunity. That's right. If you get into the VIP because you bring in a party, yeah, that's right. Like it's all about opportunity, right? Times were different back then, but I am also with Pika. Like, sometimes you don't even you don't want to separate yourself from the sibling or the person that you're with. I don't know. But yeah. So I'm just imagining what this looked like, and I'm painting the picture for y'all. I feel you on that one too. Okay. So here we go. Plaintiff did not see, nor does she remember seeing her sibling at the party during plaintiff's time inside the party. Okay, hold up. There's a typo here. So they waited 45 minutes, even though plaintiff was granted entry and her sibling was not. Plaintiff was separated from her sibling before realizing her sibling had not also granted entry into the party. There's a lot of typos in this lawsuit. Okay, so She's thinking they both got in, they're in the door, and she realizes that her sibling did not get in. She don't go back to see if her sibling's okay. She literally probably just went in there. Plaintiff did not see, nor does she remember seeing her sibling at the party during plaintiff time inside the party. Like, what the hell is partying? See what I'm saying? There's a typo there. I don't know. Like, y'all got to spell check because you know everybody's reading this. While inside the party, plaintiff took pictures with some of the celebrities in attendance, including rapper Barb's, Babs from Making the Band and Bone Crusher. Barb's. Thinking about the Barbs. Okay, so she's got pictures here, all right? At one point, plaintiff met an individual who purported to be defendant Combs' assistant, and he befriended plaintiff who was alone. Okay. At one point, plaintiff met an individual who purported to be Combs' assistant, and he befriended plaintiff who was alone. So he became friendly with her because if she's never met her, like there would be no befriending. It would just be like, yo, you weird. Like you too close to me. Get away. Like, okay, you trying to be nice, but I don't really know you. And I'm in a city I don't know. Anyways, while at the party, there was no bar for party goers to get drinks. Instead, pre-made drinks were being circulated throughout the party by a waitress. Okay. Here's more pictures. After less than 2 pre-made drinks provided by the waitress, plaintiff began to feel sick and tired to go to the restroom. Now, all of these women are wearing black, okay? So they're being provided drinks. Now, pattern of behavior based on some of the lawsuits that we have read, and I'm refreshing my memory, a lot of the victims have said that Diddy handed them a drink or that an associate handed them a drink and they started feeling woozy. And this one, she just took a drink that were already pre-made and a waitress was handing them out. Okay. So after less than 2 pre-made drinks provided by the waitress, plaintiff began to feel sick and tired to go to the restroom. No, plaintiff began to feel sick and tired and tried to go to the restroom. Okay. The next memory plaintiff has is awaking at St. Vincent Medical Center of New York. Oh, wow. We got a medical bill here. There's pictures here. Oh, shit. Plaintiff has no memory or recollection on how she ended up at the hospital. When plaintiff regained consciousness at the hospital, she noticed her skirt was ripped, her underwear was missing, and she was not wearing any shoes, and money she had traveled with was stolen. The only money plaintiff had remaining was a $20 bill. Plaintiff was admitted to St. Vincent's Hospital, treated and released. Oh, wow. So we have the hospital bracelet here, okay? Upon a release from the hospital, plaintiff, a tourist, had no way of knowing how to return to her hotel as smartphones were not a commonplace at the time. Okay. Plaintiff remained in the waiting area of the lobby of the hotel after her release for so long, she was eventually forced out by the hospital security. I could see that happening. I've known of cases where you're at this New York City, right? You're in a busy city and they don't got time for you. They treated you, move on, let's go, vámonos, right? And they want to kick you out right away. So here she is, a tourist at this hospital, right? In New York, doesn't know anything. Sounds like she was drugged based on the fact that she doesn't remember. Missing underwear, her stuff is torn. She's in a place she doesn't know. And she's released from the hospital. This is a time where this happened in what year? In 2006. Not everybody had a cell phone yet. She flew to New York City with a sibling. They kind of missed each other, or they were separated at the entrance. The sibling didn't get in, even though they won the contest too. How effed up is that? She starts taking pictures with everybody else, starts taking drinks. And does she remember what hotel she was staying at? Like, I have a lot of questions about this. Yeah, like, where's her sister? Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So she gets released. Plaintiff, a tourist, had no way of knowing how to return to her hotel as smartphones were not a commonplace there. Plaintiff remained in the waiting area of the lobby of the hotel after her release for so long, she was eventually forced out by the hospital security. Plaintiff was able to find a book of matches in her purse bearing the name of the hotel she was domiciled. So like the address. Plaintiff then hauled a taxi and returned to the hotel using the $20 bill she had left in her purse. When plaintiff returned to her hotel, she called a friend and explained she was not sure what happened to her, but plaintiff believed she was drugged, assaulted, robbed, with no memory of how she arrived at the hospital, as well as her last memory was being at Diddy's black party. Plaintiff had virtually no time to process or further determine what happened to her, as her flight back to Oklahoma left at 3:50 p.m. October 17th, less than 24 hours after plaintiff arrived in New York City. Okay. So there's the tickets. All right, so let me time out right here. I'm not hearing that she was drugged by Combs. I'm hearing that she was drugged at a Diddy party. Am I hearing this correctly? Because I'm not hearing that she took drugs and, like she was drugged by Combs per se. I'm hearing that she went to this party, she took some pre-made drinks, and then, she was drugged and then something happened to her. But she's not alleging that Combs did it so far. Unless there's another party, right? Because here we are at the day after. I don't even see her having pictures with Combs. That's what it sounds like, right? Okay, good, Vicky. Thank you. Pika, am I hearing this? Thank you, Shaunaby. All right, y'all are saying, like, she's not saying that. She's not even saying that she saw Combs at this party. Yeah, this is, I would say, I'm kind of there. Okay, Pete Tang says, Little Rod's lawsuit says that the waitress would pass out drinks with Pete Coca. Okay. You say, well, what did Delta Airlines do? What did the hotel do? Okay, you said all the drinks are drugged there? Yeah, but I'm going by the like I'm wondering, because if you review all the lawsuits, in the typical lawsuits, this is like 120 lawsuits, however many Buzbee has actually made public. We have another Buzbee lawsuit here to review as well. But this my hair sounds like she took a drink, was violated, but doesn't really know who. She just knows that it was at a Diddy party that went from a white party to a black party that had been rescheduled. Yeah, and Chris Blessings, I do know that some people had phones. I know some people did not have phones. I mean, in 2006, a landline was still a thing, Love how the hospital just discharged her into the street. And I'm not at all surprised. I've had situations where the hospital, they'll treat you. I've known of people that have been roofied, and it takes them a minute to gain their consciousness, and it depends on the city that you're at too. So everybody is a little bit different. But let's keep reading. You said you got roofied at a gay pride parade. Sent me a drink from someone she looked normal before I finished half of it. My driver said I hit the pavement, messed up for 4 days. Yeah, that happens. And so then, they'll just push you out. I've seen it. I didn't think Delta would have a liability. They provide public transportation for all who pay for a ticket. They had no way of knowing that she was a winner of any contest. Well, like they might have. So if they are working with Atlantic, right? I don't know if they have a contract, but did they even know that somebody that they were flying back and forth, some of these people could have been roofied? And is she the only one from the contest that was roofied or something? You think they all conspired? Gotcha. Okay, but this is a lawsuit that doesn't directly name Diddy as being like that he R'd her. Okay. Okay, P-Tang. Gotcha. They're going after everybody. All right, let's keep reading. Okay. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Y'all are amazing. Thank you for, first of all, thank you for having a conversation with different opinions. This is why I love my chat. Thank you guys. Okay, so the day after plaintiff returned home from New York, she received a call from a New York area code with an anonymous female caller. Okay, here we go. The anonymous female caller asked to speak to plaintiff. The anonymous female caller then threatened plaintiff, telling her that any attempts to pursue anything about plaintiff's assault would be futile because defendant Combs was a celebrity and that plaintiff would just be wasting her time. Okay, so she takes the flight back. Says the day after, plaintiff returned home from New York. She received a call from a New York area code. So the female's anonymous. And the female tells her, hey, if you go out and speak about this, you will be, something's going to happen to you. You're wasting your time. But here, I don't know about this sentence. The anonymous female caller then threatens plaintiff, telling her that any attempt to pursue anything about plaintiff's assault would be futile. Okay, but we don't know if he assaulted her because she's not even saying that in the lawsuit. And that she would just be wasting her time. All right, Ariel. Plaintiff was confused and scared as she did not know what happened to her. Plaintiff hearing from this anonymous female caller was further jarring and traumatizing as plaintiff learned that not only was she viciously assaulted, leading to her waking up at the hospital, but that defendant Combs was involved and that plaintiff would be unable to seek justice for her injuries because of defendant Combs' celebrity status. Sorry, y'all, I did not read this part. Plaintiff hearing from this anonymous female caller was further jarring and traumatizing. Plaintiff learned, so when did she learn this? That not only was she viciously assaulted, I mean, at the hospital, I would think, leading to her waking up at the hospital, but that defendant Combs was involved. How was he involved, though? Because of his associates, I'm assuming. Okay, but not directly. Because she doesn't remember it. Okay, let me keep reading. When plaintiff tried to ask the anonymous female caller her name and how she obtained plaintiff's phone number, the anonymous female hung up. Yeah, I mean, I don't see her giving the name. When plaintiff tried to call the number back, the number was disconnected. For approximately a week after plaintiff returned home, she felt constant pain in the inside and outside of her vagina. Pain she believed was from the rough intercourse. However, plaintiff had no memory of engaging in intercourse with anybody. So she was drugged to the point that she doesn't even remember not only the perpetrator, but doesn't remember like details exactly, just what happened afterwards. I mean, I believe that she was assaulted, but we don't know who. We don't know who. Could have been one of Diddy's associates, could have been Diddy, could have been anybody, but she doesn't recall, right? Plaintiff did not seek medical treatment or otherwise report her assault to law enforcement because she was scared and confused. First, because she did not know exactly what happened to her. Now, why didn't the hospital call 911? Why isn't the hospital being sued here too? Is the hospital added to this? The hospital should be involved in this lawsuit, okay? Because here you have receipts of she's getting treatment. She's telling you what happened. The hospital could very well be liable for a lot of this too. Like, did they call 911? Did they do anything? Yeah, it could have been more than one person, Storm, right? No, we're not. And that's the thing, is we're just having a conversation. This is why, like I said, I love that we can have different conversations. Yeah, this one's kind of hard too, right? It really is. First time in New York contest, small town, not savvy, Spike Dreams Club, decorum, rule 1, ladies, do not leave your drink unattended. Yeah, it does happen. Night Chirp's like, listen, I'm not letting her go. I hate to say this, but the court's gonna eat this one up once again. Yes, they did say Diddy, you're right. But I mean, if they gave her treatment and then they kicked her out of the hospital, I think the hospital could have a lawsuit here too, don't you think? Just my thought. Anyways, so plaintiff did not seek medical treatment or otherwise report her assault to law enforcement. We read that. Second, because of the threats he received from the anonymous female caller of defendant Combs involved, and it being a waste of time due to the celebrity status. Plaintiff became severely depressed and felt shame despite not fully remembering what happened. Plaintiff felt betrayed by defendants, especially the Combs, Atlantic Records, K-Jams, because she believed attending a party thrown by Combs would be a safe environment. Plaintiff felt betrayed by defendant Atlantic and K-Jams because they failed to protect her despite creating promoting financing a contest that led to her injuries and lured her to an unsafe place without warning. The assault and fear after the assault led plaintiff into a tailspin of anxiety and depression. Plaintiff was unable to maintain employment or otherwise be a productive member of society for at least a year after her assault and battery in New York City. Okay, plaintiff believed defendants committed the assault and battery against her solely because of her gender. Plaintiff has been reminded of her assault by defendant Combs as his inescapable presence in music, television, and film. Okay, so she also experienced intimacy issues, emotional issues, and romantic relationships. And basically, Combs altered the trajectory of plaintiff's life. Ugh. So she experiences depression. She's in fear of retaliation and violence. Well, why didn't she file as a Jane Doe? But since defendant Combs has been incarcerated with no bond, plaintiff feels safe to seek. Okay, so she's seeking action for these things against her. Okay. And then here we have the counts. So this is one of the counts. Conduct and participate in a RICO enterprise through a pattern of racketeering. A RICO enterprise? Oh, because she flew and then she was targeted. Okay, so they're labeling this a civil RICO. Okay. Let me go down a little bit more. And so they're outlining the law. And then here in the letter, okay, I think I could read the letter if I squint. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me squint. Dear contestant winner, here's the information today's party. Please make sure you're way down to the lobby at about 8:45 p.m. this evening, dressed in your black outfit. We will be heading over in 2 hours. So the address is there. The party goes until 2 a.m., where you will be responsible for your own transportation home. If for some reason you are not at the you have a different, please call Mike Savvy. So Mike's number is there. I look forward to seeing you tonight. Okay. So he's a promotional coordinator, and that's his name there. So I read a little bit, but damn, I had to it's very small font. Okay, so let me go down a little bit more. And then they're saying defendants committed multiple acts of mail fraud in violation. Mail fraud? Okay, because they agreed to the act of mail fraud described. Oh, how? Oh, because of their communication, like the letter and everything? That's mail fraud? Defendants committed multiple acts of wire fraud. Okay. So because they paid, right, for the hotel and everything. And then maybe being reimbursed for the deposit. Okay, let me go down a little bit. And then there is assault and battery. But we don't know. We don't know who battered this woman. Somebody did something to her, but we don't know. Negligent hiring and training and supervision and retention, and this is why they're going all over. But why aren't they adding the hospital? Negligence. Like, I would have gone for the hospital. They didn't call the police. They know I was a victim. Did they do an R kit? What happened? She had torn up underwear. I'm just thinking, like, Ariel, like, why isn't the hospital on this lawsuit? Negligent infliction of emotional distress. Intentional emotional distress. Okay. And then somebody called her. All right. Now, could they put the phone records of when she got the call too? This is just too much. Wim, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. If you've been blessed by Wim, put a heart in the chat. Thank you, Wim. Thank you. Thank you. What do I need to see, Chico? Yo, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. St. Vincent's is closed. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Ooh, the question is, did she consent to any medical treatment? Storm, you said, what do you want to tag me on? Yeah, just tag me on Discord. What is the link to? Let me know. Thank you, Storm. Okay. Did she get an R kit? Did they call the police? Okay, so St. Vincent's is closed. That hospital is closed. Maybe that's why she didn't go after the hospital. Because that's what I would have to wonder. Yeah, like, don't they have the duty to care? Gotcha. Okay, thank you, Chico. What do y'all think about that lawsuit? Let me know. Now, we have one more to review from y'all's favorite attorney, Buzby. Did she sign an NDA? I didn't even hear her say. Does she remember signing anything? That's a great question. I mean, there's a lot of details. She does have receipts. Clearly, somebody assaulted her. That's what she's alleging. I have a lot of questions. As far as she's not saying it's Diddy, but she says she was assaulted at a Diddy party. That's what it sounds like to me. But what do y'all make of that? Should we do a poll? And Nikki, thank you so much for gifting a membership, love. Thank you for blessing this channel. Thank you. Put a heart in the chat if you've been blessed by Nikki. Now hold up. Let me do a little poll real quick because we have another lawsuit to review. And this one's going to be a Buzbee lawsuit, which if it's typical Buzbee, he doesn't rewrite them. He copies and pastes. Do you feel, I don't know, what should be, maybe I'll do an ask questions. Hold up. Let's see. How do you feel? How do you feel about this lawsuit with what's her name? Latroya Grayson. All right. And so when I just put a question in the chat, you could click it if you're in the chat and just put your thoughts about it. And Aduko, Aduko, thank you for gifting 5 more memberships. Oh my God, y'all. If you've been blessed, put a heart in the chat. Thank you, love, for supporting my channel. Y'all are amazing. You, Wim, Nikki, and Aduko. Thank you. Duty of care. Okay. She needs a new paralegal. Well, I mean, she needs to proofread that lawsuit because, I mean, listen, I'm not the best reader. I'm not. English is not my first language. But I do have to say that I'm kind of curious about that. All right, so the question, the Q&A is, how do you feel about this lawsuit with Latroya Grayson? Okay, and let me know what you guys think in the comments about it. Y'all ready? You're ready for the next one? Let me take a drink because the next one is from your guys' favorite lawyer, Buzbee. Okay, this is another Jane Doe. So again, copy and paste. This is punitive damages for violent assault conducted by Diddy. So this is again another Diddy lawsuit. Now hold up, okay? Let me go back. They're outlining the business, the LLC, everything. Okay. Now this one dropped yesterday along with Ariel's lawsuit. Hold up, because this is like repeat. Because we just need to get to the right to where. Okay, so here's the party. So this Jane Doe is a female who resides in Louisiana. Okay, she is in Louisiana. And let's get to the allegations. Jurisdiction, factual allegations. Here we go. Plaintiff and her female friend visited New York City in December of 1991 to spend Christmas with 2 of her friends who lived in the city. After the holiday, plaintiff stayed in the city to attend an event she was invited to by another acquaintance of hers, a rapper who was prominent in the industry at the time. Ooh, okay. The event was a charity basketball game occurring at College City in New York City on December 28th of 1991. Plaintiff and her female friend were dropped off at the event early so that they could get in to see the rapper who invited her. Plaintiff recalled the crowd outside being very large and growing unruly. But once she spoke to security, she and her friend were let in ahead of the crowd. Once inside, plaintiff watched security attempt to contact her rapper friend via radio, but was unable to. Plaintiff recalled him telling her to ask for his co-sponsor of the event if if no one could find him when she got there. The co-sponsor was an up-and-coming producer by the name of Puffy Combs. Okay, so this is 1991, y'all, all right? Plaintiff asked to be directed to Puffy despite not knowing who that was. She and her friend were taken to an office at the back of the locker room where Combs had a makeshift dressing room set up. He introduced himself and his bodyguard, who then stood outside the door while they talked. Plaintiff's friend told Combs how excited she was to be there and how much she wanted to see some of the other celebrities there. After mentioning her favorite rapper, Combs said that he could take her to see him, and then plaintiff and that plaintiff should stay and keep waiting for Myers. Okay, so Myers, why is Myers the name mentioned here? Is Myers like that's her favorite rapper? Is that what she's saying? Okay, plaintiff did so, but Myers did not arrive. All right. Eventually, Combs returned with a plastic cup full of what he purported to be Coca-Cola. Plaintiff drank some of it, but did not finish it as she did not like the taste of it. All right. This is what I'm talking about, pattern of behavior. So here's another one. Diddy is directly giving the drink to the victim, the alleged victim, and the victim takes the drink. Okay. So that is what we're seeing here. Diddy is directly um giving the drink and she takes it. Okay. So keep that in mind. Let's see. Are you guys able to answer the question on the thing? Let me know. If not, I'll just end it. I need it done. Hold up. I'm hearing that rabbit here's not directly related to Diddy. Gotcha, Darcy. Okay. Thank you, Storm. I'll check it out here in a minute. Let me know. I don't see anybody being able to answer the question. Hold up, y'all. Because I want to make sure I include you guys in the conversation. Okay. Yes, we're not giving legal advice. Thank you. Here we go. So plaintiff did so, but Myers did not arrive. Eventually, Combs returned with a plastic cup full of what purported to be Coca-Cola. Maybe she drank a little bit of it, but didn't finish it because she didn't like the taste of it. Okay. Plaintiff began to feel woozy and attempted to leave to find her rapper friend on her own, but Combs blocked her exit. She told her that she needed to stay and that is when she noticed he was touching himself in an aggressive manner. He began to fondle plaintiff and overpower her when she struggled. Plaintiff Combs removed her underwear and began molesting her, before climbing on top of her and doing stuff to her. Shortly after the assault began, Combs was called to the door by the bodyguard who was standing watch on the other side of it. Okay. Combs came back and told plaintiff he had to go deal with something. Plaintiff told Combs that what he did was not right and he needed to tell her rapper friend because she was there to see him and did not want him to think that she had sex with Combs willingly. Combs told her that she should not do that because people can come up missing and that he would never know. Plaintiff waited in the room for a short period to gather herself and make sure Combs was not returning, then took the opportunity to leave. The scene outside was chaotic. There were people packed into the building and running in every direction. Plaintiff spent about half an hour looking for her friend before finding an exit. Plaintiff eventually found her friend, and the two of them made it to a phone call for a ride home. Wow. So she had been drugged. She says she remembers this specifically because she's having a conversation with Diddy. You had the security guard that was playing like lookout, that he was looking out to see who was coming and going. Okay. And we have that first cause of gender motivated violence. Okay. Listed there. Anthony Busby. What else is here? That's it. This was a contest. This was a charity game, right? This is just like, oh my god, it's just like a lot. Um, hold up, y'all. Let me see what I have here. Yes, thank you, Storm. This is the lawsuit that I'm reading. Thank you, thank you. I see your tag, and thank you, love. Um, and then what is this? An interview. Hold up, y'all. See what everybody's talking about. What is this about? Okay. Let me just check and see because it's only 30 seconds. The drone stuff. All right, we're not on topic for that. Okay, but this is Ticket TV who read this. Yes, this is the lawsuit that we're reading. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the tag. How unbelievable. There are victims that are there are victims that for back. How many are there? I don't know, Pink Below. Wonder if the security guard was Gene Deal. Let me be careful. You answer the question. Did it let you? Because I don't see the answers. For whatever reason, it's not letting me see the answers. Confirm. Okay. Well, let me ask you guys a question. So we just read this lawsuit with Busby. This one is like, the details are very interesting. It's 1991. What Diddy in 1991, Diddy was obviously very well known, but who he was in 2006, who he was even now in 2021, and all this stuff. I mean, Diddy has always been fairly huge, right? How do you guys feel like about this lawsuit? Yeah, same event as the Stampede, right? So let me see. Let's talk about the first lawsuit with Latroya Grayson. I'm trying to figure out how to ask this question. Latroya Grayson, do y'all believe was did Diddy assault her, or was there another a person? I guess I'm confused. Did Diddy directly, or was she just assaulted at a Diddy promotional event? Because that's not how I understood it. Latroya Grayson, in your opinion, now hold up. I don't know, the question option is not working. I really wanted to do the question, but I guess it doesn't work. Did Diddy assault her? Unknown. I'm going to say unknown because she doesn't know who it was. All right, so we got to give her the benefit of the doubt there. I don't know if people died, but this was in 1991. You said, can you imagine if Puffy messed up his responsibilities that day? He was distracted assaulting someone? That would be wild, says Chris. You think she was assaulted at that event, but was it Diddy? We don't know, right? Even I don't know. Listen, I'm going to tell you this, okay? Respectfully with Gene Deal. The thing about Gene Deal is that I just have a hard time believing that any bodyguard or security person that worked directly with Diddy, knowing what we know now, would not conceal or not protect certain things. I don't think Gene Deal wants any direct responsibility with anything. I think he's fine telling his stories, but I'm having a hard time because, are you kidding me? Like, everybody, it seems to be complicit of something at this point. Like, people are going after hotels, the Macy's, the stuff. I would agree with him that this might be difficult to prove, but if she was assaulted by somebody, I don't know. Let me know. Like, I would believe that she sounds like she took a drink. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's still disgusting no matter who did what, right? But was it? She doesn't remember. She doesn't remember. Hey, just the tea, please. Okay. Let me see. What time was the concert in Stampede? What time was the party? I mean, I don't know, Emma. It's a great question. Sounds like Diddy first event that was an oversold event and people got hurt. Is that the same one? Is everybody asking? Yeah, Najim Deal, he's been interviewed 7 to 8 months. Said he was told to stay outside with his security to watch the crowd, says Chris. Chris, but that's his word against who exactly? You know what I mean? See, that's the question that I have. You mean to tell me, like, she doesn't mention that. Did they do a grape kit? This is 2006. Grape kits were in existence then. I mean, maybe cell phones and smartphones weren't what they were, but they were, they existed. You know what I mean? Unapproachable Light says he's the devil. Oh man, shout out to you. Right, Evening Star. Okay, let me check the poll because I'm kind of curious to know what y'all got to say. Now, do me a favor and hit that like button, please and thank you. Okay, I got 57 votes, 343 people watching. Make sure y'all hitting the like. Okay, in your opinion, did Diddy directly assault Latroya Grayson? 24% said yes, and 14% said no, and 60 some said unknown. Latroya Grayson doesn't even say in the lawsuit that she saw Diddy. She's got pictures of celebrity, but she don't got pictures of Diddy. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. Storm, shout out to you, love. Okay, I see. Storm came through. Storm AF came through. Listen, love. Thank you. So let's watch this interview. So she's been interviewed by News Nation. This dropped 13 hours ago.
A woman named Latroya Grayson. Who said,
now hold up. Because hold up, I'm gonna try to speed it up a little bit, okay, so we can get right to it. Shout out to Brian Enton. Okay,
she believes that she was drugged and assaulted at one of Diddy's parties in 2006. And Latroya joins us live now. This is her first time speaking out.
Hold up, Night Charm, where are you? Night Charm. Your favorite lawyer is here. She fixing her hair. Shout out to her. She's a beautiful woman, by the way. I will say that. Look at her.
In 2006. And Latroya joins us live now. This is her first time speaking out since filing this lawsuit just today. We're also joined by her attorney, Ariel Mitchell. I appreciate both of you ladies being with us on a Friday night. Latroya, I want to start with you. Walk us through what happened. I know that your sibling won a contest to go to a Diddy party. You flew out to New York. What happened from there, Latroya?
Well, pretty much everything that happened is in the lawsuit. So I would encourage any and everyone that would like to know the information to read it.
Yeah, I understand. We've looked at the lawsuit today. I just wanted to hear from you what happened. I mean, because I can imagine you guys won the tickets to go, which must have been pretty exciting. You were in Oklahoma, right?
Yes, sir.
And so you flew to New York. Was it with your sister?
Yes, sir.
And were you excited? I mean, what were you thinking it was going to be like?
Fun, hanging out, the normal parties, getting to take some pictures with some celebrities.
Yeah, I would imagine getting to go to a Diddy party. I mean, now we know that.
Well, here's my question, Vicky. It's a good question. So is Ariel sending her clients to News Nation? Does she get paid? Well, if Ariel gets paid, does Latroya get paid too? Because this is her story. I think that Latroya should get paid if she's going to be doing interviews. In my opinion, I mean, she's telling her story, you know, and her attorney's there. If her attorney gets compensated, why doesn't she?
You know, what was really going on allegedly, but I'd imagine at the time that would have been exciting to win that. What was it? What do you remember it being like when you got there?
Can we just for a second, you know, I don't want to put too much on Mrs. Grayson in terms of answering a lot of questions. Today was already a hard enough day. It did take us some time even, you know, for her to come forward and be able to, you know, talk publicly about what happened to her. So, you know, I hope we can just not pepper her with as many questions about, you know, that night. I know everyone wants to hear from the victims, but it's very traumatic having them relive these things that happened to them. So,
what do y'all think? So why do an interview then? Don't put her in the interview. Cause what are they going to do in the interview? They're going to ask you questions. That's what they do in interviews. They ask questions. If you agree to an interview, yeah. Right. Hold up. I'm laughing at Night Charm. Look at Night Charm. Yo, so if her client gets paid, does Mitchell get a cut of that pay? Yeah. Is he coming on as an Addy or as an agent? That's a great question. But I mean, is it just me? Like, if she's agreed to an interview because they're going to ask her questions, but I agree. Like, maybe this is a little too overwhelming that she shouldn't do interviews, right? Like, look at y'all. Oh my God. Y'all are not having it. Why?
So, you know, I want to make sure I'm also preserving what we need to do for our litigation with Mrs. Grayson as well, and protecting anything that she does say. I like to explain to people in the evidence rules, anything she says can be used against her. But she did want to come forward with all the allegations, with all the individuals that are making, very rarely are you seeing any of the victims actually coming forward. So today she was very brave, and through her, you know, her doubts, wanted to come forward and do this program here today.
Wow. Yeah, I understand. And I wouldn't want to put her in an uncomfortable situation. And I understand she just filed a lawsuit. I was just wanted her to explain what she remembers from that night. Maybe you, Ariel, since not everybody's seen the lawsuit. I've seen the lawsuit, but you know, people watching haven't read the lawsuit. Maybe you can explain what you are alleging in the lawsuit.
So essentially, it's pretty easy facts. There was a nationwide contest that was promoted where you called in and won an all expenses trip paid to New York, which for anybody, a free trip to New York, even in today's time, will be a great value, a great trip. And then on top of that, the trip, you got to go to a P. Diddy party. Mm-hmm. So calling a radio station, I've called the radio station to win tickets, not a great prize like you would think she won back then. Right. And this was, you know, back in 2006 during the height of Diddy's career, during the height of Bad Boy Entertainment and the white parties. So that was part of the enticement, was to bring people who knew about these parties, who desired to go there, which is why it was such a successful contest.
No, and Pete, you're right. This is fair. I would agree with you on that. Then you guys complain about Buzby not being there for his client. She's doing her job. No, I agree. I'm not, you know, we're just giving commentary to this. You know, Ariel is with her client, to be fair, okay? And she's being helpful. You know what I mean? She's trying to be there and also interject. I'm glad that you pointed this out, because this is the kind of energy I wanted to see Busby from the Jane Doe. You're right, Pete. Thank you for saying that. Shout out to Pete. And Mana Joe, thank you for the $49.99 super sticker. Oh my goodness, love. Thank you. Appreciate you for that. But I want to go back to Pete, and Pete's right. All right. We got to give her the props when she deserved it, because this is the kind of energy I wanted to see with Busby. Okay. I wanted Busby to be with Jane Doe when she was interviewing. I wanted her together. I wanted them together, but he was in Mexico. Okay. Under a Mexican umbrella. Okay. Yes. So, I get it, Pete. Shout out to you. And, Mana Joe, thank you for that, love. Shout out to you.
She went to the party. There was transportation that was arranged, hotels that were arranged. Everything was all paid for, even transportation to the party. What I found to be concerning was that there was transportation to the party, but not from the party. And then at the party, Ms. Grayson alleges that, as you see in the lawsuit, and I want to start encouraging people to go read these lawsuits instead of hearing these sound bites that they see in the news or on social media, because before you go and start to make an opinion, you should go read these lawsuits. They are there. They are free. They are public record. But essentially, she was drugged. She woke up and was in the hospital. Her next memory was being in the hospital. After finally returning back to the hotel, she had to leave shortly thereafter to go back to Oklahoma. And then the next day, she received a call from unidentified woman telling her that she shouldn't pursue anything against Diddy because it would be a waste of time.
Can we get phone records?
Watching. Go to joinnn.com.
Can we get phone records on that? And that's a good point too. Like, I'm kind of wondering about this. Storm, is there another side to this? Let me know. All these people need exposure for public opinion. But hold up. They're trying to get these cases in the public first, as Pete. Well, and I all right. So listen, I think that I think I'm just unclear about Delta Airlines' involvement with her lawsuit. Let me be very clear. Yeah, the interview was cut short. It was then. So I'm trying to find the other side to this. Is there another part? Hold up. News Nation, yada, yada, yada. Let's find it. If there is another side to this. Because they always be doing this. They always cut short. Okay, so this is the one we just watched. They haven't uploaded the other one. This is just her. But you know, she's coming forward. I mean, but to me, this is the lawsuit where Diddy and associates are named, but we don't know who did anything to her. You think, okay, Mana Joe says the whole thing sounds shady, needs more info. All right. What about the Buzbee lawsuit? She remembers everything. She remembers details. She didn't go to the hospital. She didn't do any of that. I mean, I'm just kind of wondering what y'all think. Now, the other thing to this too, did y'all know that Johnny Depp praised Alex Spiro for his good work? Johnny Depp, y'all know Johnny Depp was accused of a lot of stuff. He praised Alex Spiro for his good work. Okay, hold up. Johnny. There was that too. Did y'all know that too? Because, yeah, I'm a little surprised. This is going to get the internet like a little crazy because, you know, there's a lot of Johnny Depp fans. I know. I blame Night Charm for that. All right. Night Charm, that's your fault. You've been summoning. We've been talking about Ariel, and then she came. She said, no, I'm here. I got a lawsuit. She's doing her lawsuits. I just think that News Nation is not necessarily in the right place. It's the land of the misfits toys for journalism. You're not buying it? Okay. So Britney Spears, I know what is going on. Britney Spears is posting Luigi too. Oh, Lord have mercy. Yesterday we were talking about Ariel, y'all, and we were just like, where'd she go? She disappeared, and then bam, she dropped the lawsuit. Not even like 12 hours later, she drops the lawsuit. Look, I do want to know though, how do y'all feel about Johnny Depp praising Alex Spiro? Because I kind of wonder about that, and I'm gonna do a video about that. I want to see, because Johnny Depp went through what he went through, and this is gonna get the internet and everybody going a little bit crazy, and I'm here for it because, you know, I mean, in the midst of chaos, there's got to be a middle ground to all of this. You know what I mean? There just has to be. Don't say the name 3 times. I know I got to be careful. I'm going to be careful. Yes, you said, oh, to be honest, Rabbit, I don't trust anybody BFF with Marilyn Manson and Johnny Depp. I heard that they're best friends. Yeah, they are. Shout out to Which I try to be, I try to give both sides of the coin of an argument. I really do. I haven't made up my mind on a lot of things. Personally, I feel like that there are going to be some people that are going to file lawsuits that aren't being honest. Okay. I could see that. Y'all. It's going to happen. But at the same time, I'm willing to accept that. And I'm also willing to accept the fact that there's going to be some people out there that will not get justice. Okay. We have to accept the fact that there's a lot of people out there that are watching everything that's going on social media, on YouTube, on the news, and they're really scared to come out. And they could be legitimate victims with receipts and a story to tell, but they don't come out because they're worried about this exact same thing. Right. And I understand that. And I have a lot of empathy for that. There's a lot out there, a lot of people that have not said anything. But I also feel like there's going to be people that will lie and deceive people. Okay. That's just the reality of it. Okay. The reality is there's going to be a lot of people that will not be honest about the things that have happened. You know what I mean? So shout out to you guys. Having receipts that don't jive with the aftermath she describes is a side eye. Y'all are entitled to your opinions. Y'all know I will welcome a difference of opinion. Okay. And shout out to P-Tang who, pointed out, I think P-Tang is right. It's like, we can't be hypocrites about certain things. We have to be able to call things out. So shout out to P-Tang and thank you for pointing that out as well. If we say we want the attorney here and then here she is and we're not favorites, I'm not a favorite of hers. I know that. I'm just not a fan of Ariel, but I'm also not a fan of a lot of things. So my opinion is this much. Okay. All right, y'all. I'm going to let you guys go because I got to go tend to baby bunny. I want to thank everybody, first of all, for supporting my channel. Thank you guys for the gifting, for the super chats and super stickers. Y'all are amazing. Make sure you guys check out my Brian Baez interview yesterday where we broke that down. That was interesting and hilarious. There's more information coming. I'm just taking it bit bits and pieces of it because it's a lot. Okay. But y'all are amazing. Thank you. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. Bye. Have a beautiful day. Bye, guys.